Hey Algebra 2, so here is the video solutions for the review number 2 for chapter 3. Okay, so number 1, what we're doing here is we're writing the following equation in standard or vertex form. And remember, you need to know that that is y equals a times x minus h squared plus k. A great way to graph parabolas, right? So what you want to do first, change the f of x to a y if you want to. And then what we're going to do is we're going to kind of separate these x's, okay, and see if they have a GCF that's a number. So I know they have a GCF of an x, but you're just looking for a number. So because we can't pull anything out, we're just going to go ahead and rewrite it down, x squared plus 4x. And then we need to complete the square. So remember, completing the square, we want to figure out, okay, what number is going to make that a perfect square trinomial. So take the 4, divide by 2, and square it. It's going to be 2 squared, which is 4. So I'm going to go ahead and add 4 there. Okay, and I have this plus 1 on the outside. But remember, okay, we can't just add a random 4 to an equation, okay? So if we're going to add something here, that means we need to add something on the other side. Or similarly, we could just subtract 4 here, because now we added 4, subtracted 4 on the same side, which means we added nothing, okay? So what do we got next? We've got y equals, we want to factor this. That's going to factor to x plus 2 times x plus 2, or x plus 2 squared. And then we've got this 1 minus 4 is negative 3. So there is vertex form. So that's the easy one, okay? Number 2 is a little bit harder. So we've got y equals, and the reason why it's harder is because this time there is a number I can factor out of both of the x's, which is going to be a negative 3. So if I pull out a negative 3, I'm going to be left with x squared minus 4x, okay? And then I'm going to, again, leave room to complete the square. If I take negative 4 divided by 2, that's negative 2. I'll write it down for you. And then if I square that, I'm still going to get a 4, just like the other one. So I'm going to go ahead and add a 4. Okay, and now I still have this minus 7, but I need to make sure that my equation is balanced. This time it looks like I added a 4, but you guys, I really added a 4 times a negative 3. So what did I really do here? I didn't add a 4. I subtracted a 12. So if I subtract 12 from one side, I have to subtract 12 from the other side. Or another way to do that is just to add 12 to here, right? Because negative 12 plus 12 is going to give you 0. Okay, so what have we got here? We have y equals negative 3 times, if I factor this, it's going to be x minus 2 times x minus 2, or x minus 2 squared. And then negative 7 plus 12 is going to be 5. Okay, let's look at number 3. Write the equation of a parabola that has the indicated vertex and passes through the given point. Okay, so again, we want to put this into y equals a times x minus h squared plus k. So you guys, the vertex is your h and your k, the point is your x and your y. And plugging in all 4 of those things is going to find your a. That's what we're looking for here. So let's replace it. The y is negative 2. The a I don't know. The x is 4 minus. The h is negative 1, but if I subtract a negative 1, I'm really adding a 1 squared. And then the k is a 4. Okay, so let's solve for a. So I have negative 2 equals 4 plus 1 is 5. 5 squared is 25. So this is 25a plus 4. If I subtract 4 from both sides, I'm going to get negative 6 equals 25a. And then if I divide both sides by 25, I'm going to get that a is negative 6 over 25. So what's the equation of this thing going to be? Don't know where I'm going to write this. Here, I'm going to write it up here. I'll just write it here. So putting all this together, I'm going to have, remember what you want is you want to replace the a, the h, and the k, okay, to get your final answer. So this is going to be y equals negative 6 over 25 for your a, times x minus negative 1, that's your h, so that's plus 1 squared, and then your k was 4. So this is your final answer. Okay, now that I have absolutely no room to do number 4, that's okay, let's do it again. Okay, I'm just going to draw a little line here, sorry about that. So this again is your h, this is your k, this is your x, and this is your y. I'm going to plug that into y equals a times x minus h squared plus k. So the y is your 2, the a I do not know, the x is a 0 minus the h is a 2 squared plus the k is a 3. So this is going to be 2 equals 0 minus 2 is negative 2. Negative 2 squared is 4, so it's 4a plus 3. If I subtract 3 from both sides, I'm going to get negative 1 equals 4a. So that leaves me with a equals negative 1/4. And then plugging it in, again, I want to replace my a, my h, my k. So I'm going to get y equals negative 1/4 for your a, and x minus your h was 2 squared, and your k was a 3. All right. Okay, now why is this such an important form to be in for a parabola? It's because they're really easy to graph if they're in that form. So it says find the vertex, direction, opening, and axis of symmetry, and then graph. Be sure to plot 2 more points for accuracy. Okay, so the vertex, because we're in vertex form, this is your h and your k, is going to be 3, 1. Remember, when you're pulling it out of a parenthesis, make sure you switch the sign so that negative 3 becomes a 3. Okay, then the direction of opening, it opens, because the a is positive, it's going to open up. And then the axis of symmetry, okay, the axis of symmetry is just whatever your x value is. It's x equals 3, and I'll show you that when we graph it. And then sketch the graph. Okay, so let's go ahead and plot our vertex first. So the vertex is at 3, 1. The axis of symmetry, you guys, is this equation x equals 3, which looks like that. It's just whatever the x value of your vertex is. Just makes it easier to graph. Okay, and then plot 2 more points for accuracy. So I know it's been a while since we've done this, but always start with your vertex in the center and then pick one value above the vertex, one value below for your x value. Okay, and then find out what that is. So look, let's say I want to plug 4 in there. If I plug 4 into that x, what am I going to get? I'm going to get y equals 2 times 4 minus 3 squared plus 1. So that's 2 times 1, which is 2 plus 1, which is 3. So both of these have to be 3 because of the symmetry of parabolas. Okay, so we're going to be at the point 2, 3, and then we're going to be at the point 4, 3. So it's going to look something like that. And again, look, we said that it opens up. It does. It should open up, right? All right, and then let's look at number 6. So what about this guy? So the vertex for this one is going to be your h and your k. Remember, change the sign of the h when you're pulling it out of a parenthesis. The direction of opening this time, you guys, because the a here is negative, right? That means it's going to open down. So we've got a sad little parabola. And then the axis of symmetry, again, that's just your x value of your vertex. So it's just x equals negative 1. So let's plot what we have. We have negative 1, negative 2, which is right here. Okay, x equals negative 1 is this line right here. It's just your symmetry. Okay, and then we want to plot a couple more points for accuracy. So start with your vertex in the middle here. Pick 1 point above, 1 point below. Okay, so I'm at 0, negative 1, negative 2. Which one should we plug in? It really doesn't matter. Let's say we plug in 0 this time. We're going to plug it right into that x. So we're going to get y equals negative 1/2 times 0 plus 1 squared minus 1. So 0 plus 1 is 1. 1 squared is 1. 1 times negative 1/2 is negative 1/2 minus 1, which is negative 3/2, which is negative 1.5. If you want to go with decimals. And then plotting those 2 points, so you're at 0, negative 1.5, which is somewhere right here. Then we're at negative 2, negative 1.5, which is somewhere right there. Okay, something went drastically wrong here. What happened? It's a negative, so it opens down, negative 1, negative 2. What did I do? Let's see. One times negative 1/2 is, oh, it's minus 2, you guys. Oh my gosh, do you see the mistake that I made? Okay, this should be a minus 2, not a minus 1. It's crazy. Okay, so negative 1/2 minus 2. Let's try this again. That's, I need my eraser, gosh dang it. Okay, and let's erase these points too. And you guys notice, like, I knew that something was wrong, right? I know it opens down and it didn't, so I'm glad I made a mistake. Okay, so why didn't this erase? Good grief. Let's try again. Okay, so negative 1/2 minus 2, that is negative 2.5, so it's negative 2.5. That's a little bit better. So this should be a negative 2.5, a negative 2.5. let me make this nicer. I'm sorry. Just excuse my mess here. Okay, so this should be a negative 2.5, negative 2.5. Okay, so we're at 0, negative 2.5, which is right here. And then we're at negative 2, negative 2.5, which is right there. And that does indeed open down. So sorry about that. All right, make sure you copy the problem down right. Very important. All right, you guys, I'm going to stop the video and do video per page so it doesn't take so much time to upload. All right, see you in a minute.